Hi, this is Alan. I like IRONWORX because it's where everybody knows your name, and they're always glad you came.
I love IRONWORX with Josh, Walt, and Zack. It's like sitting in your front room having a cozy chat with your best friends.
Hi, it's Diva here, and I just want you to know that IRONWORX with Josh, Walt, and Zack, it's definitely my favourite dose of reality. Come join the family and keep it flat.
Why sleep in when you could get your dose of iron in the morning? Listen to the IRONWORX.
This is Enlightened Dawn. Roses are red, violets are blue. IRONrealmmedia is the best on the plane. To this show, I will forever be true. You guys are truly the best, and I love you guys. I'm so thankful to have you in my life.
Do you like listening to space letters from Never a Straight Answer? Then tune in to the IRONWORX with Zack, Walter, and Josh. Break clear of the fear on the IRONWORX and become an Iron Scout.
This is your fucking wake-up call, man!
Good morning. I'm here. Wake up. Wake up. Wake up.
Wake up!
Wake up!
Wake up!
What is dark matter?
Okay, we don't know.
That's great. That's why it's called dark.
It's exactly.
Everyone knows all reputable information comes from random people on the internet. Tell me things, internet. The earth is flat. It's like school in your hand.
Okay, dark matter is something we do not know what it is. We believe the dark matter is there, but we have never detected it. Well, what I'm afraid of course, is that there is no dark matter out there.
There was one?
There is no dark matter out there. We need to think really hard.
Wake up! Wake up! Wake up! Good morning. Good morning. We talked the whole night through. Good morning. Good morning to you. Good morning. Good morning. It's great to stay up late. Good morning. Good morning to you.
The sleeper has awakened!
And a TGIW. Happy hump day, everybody. Welcome to the IRONWORX. Streaming live on the ironrealmmedia YouTube and Rumble channels, respectively. Wait. Yeah, I think we're going out to Rumble. Good morning, fellas. How you doing?
Howdy.
Howdy.
Howdy ho.
There he is. Hi there, Walter.
Hi, you didn't hear me earlier?
I might have. It's early.
Yeah, it is. It definitely is.
Oh, Nemo said it's cold tonight.
Yeah.
Means it's coming, Walter. It means it's coming. You just got to be a little bit more patient.
That's what the rest of the country believes is, oh, well, it's all fall and stuff. It's coming. It's going to be cool here in just a week or two. Yeah. Not so much, but that's fine. We'll make it. It is cooler. I mean, I'll admit that it is cooler here. Instead of 110, it's like 97. So we're getting there.
Getting it. Slowly but surely.
And don't call me Shirley.
Really?
Have you guys seen the new Naked Gun?
No, not yet.
It's pretty good. I have a lot of, I can't even think of the word, maybe disdain for a lot of these old movies that I grew up watching being remade with the same exact name and like the same exact story and all that. I guess this does happen though. A lot of the movies I grew up watching that I really enjoyed were actually remakes of movies from like the 40s or 50s or whatever. So, but yeah, it was funny. I will give it that. It was very funny. I think Leslie Nielsen was great in it. For somebody I've never seen play like a funny, goofy role. I mean, the first thing I can think of this guy in was that one where he had to make a face. Like he was brutally disfigured in a scientific experiment. And then he had to put he made a mask that he would put on his face.
Dark Man, you know what, Dark Man?
Dark Man, that's it.
Yeah.
I haven't seen that in a hot minute.
Yeah. But I've never seen Leslie Nielsen be in a comedy.
Liam Neeson.
Liam Neeson, sorry.
That's
Leslie
right.
Nielsen.
I was like, wait.
That's the original, right?
How many dramatic movies have you seen with Leslie Nielsen?
Yeah, no, Liam Neeson.
Quite a few, actually.
Made in the last 3 decades.
No, but I'm old, right? I'm old. I remember when he wasn't a comedian. The thing is, he's one of those actors who, when he's playing it straight, if you go back now and watch a movie with him in it, you think it's funny because of the way the whole character, was in The Naked Gun. Now, later on, it got to be a whole lot more mugging and, stuff, but it definitely was just him being the dude he was in all those older movies, but in a whole different scenario. Him playing it straight is what made it hilarious.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway. But yeah, Dark Man, that's one of those early damn it, brain's broken. Sam Raimi, actually. He directed that. That's why it has that comic book feel to it.
I thought Darkman was good.
Oh yeah, it was Sam Raimi. I mean,
it was didn't they even make a Darkman 3?
They probably did. It was it was the early 90s, so I'm sure they made at least 3. But yeah, it wasn't those second and the third were not Raimi. So
but yeah, definitely got a kick out of that one. We got a new law going into effect as of yesterday. A new driving law, hands-free. Even if you're setting your electronic device on your lap, a lot of people do that. They'll drive and they'll have the phone set on their leg. That's illegal. You either don't have your phone turned on or you have to have it on a mounted something or other.
So you can't set it on your dashboard?
I mean, you can.
Like Dixie's new car, it's got wireless charging. So you just
that's awesome.
Chuck it in the console. You can just set it right there on the top. Just set it there. And it charges. Connects wirelessly to the car.
Ahoy, gentlemen.
Andrew B.
Ahoy, matey.
I actually like that fucking law because every single day I have to honk at somebody because I can see them holding their phone in their face as they're driving, and my phone is face down, on silent, aside from the fact that I'll have something like a podcast playing or something like that. And if someone, I think hands-free driving is a misnomer because that sounds even worse.
Yeah. I drive with my knees.
Yeah, it's incorporated. It's
Look, Mom,
they need to
no hand.
rephrase the law a little tiny bit. But I hope everyone's doing well.
Yeah, not shabby. I got some kudos at work. Felt nice.
Nice.
Apparently, there's multiple team leads that want me to work with them, according to management.
That's how to do it.
And they still want to give me a truck. He said, "Oh, just to fill in every once in a while." It's like, Adam, I've done just to fill in once in a while. All right. No, I'm not stupid. You can pull all this shit on the younger people, right? who haven't been there before and done it before. I'm tapping on 50 here soon. All right, that's like half a century of wisdom and knowledge and bullshit I've had to put up with through bosses and whatnot. No, there's nothing you're going to say to me that's going to make me change my mind. Sorry.
Well, how old is your supervisor, manager, or whatever?
He's about my age, maybe a little younger.
Oh, okay.
Mm-hmm.
So Mike D there in chat is mentioning the fact that apparently they're going to have to remake Walking Tall, asking, have we noticed the stories about old Buford staging the killing of his wife? Did you guys see that story? I dropped it in our pile, but we didn't get to it Monday. In fact, I opened it and was going to talk about it, and we got sidetracked the last bit of the show or something, and I never did mention it. But definitely, that story came up in my feed, and I definitely was interested in it because Walking Tall, the movie, starring, damn it, what's his name? My brain is just not awake. Huh?
John C. Reilly?
No,
that's Walk Hard.
Yeah, Walking Tall with not Gary Busey. Damn it.
Oh, it's Phoenix, River Phoenix, the son, or little brother.
No.
Joaquin.
No.
Yeah.
No. Not the one I'm talking about.
Dwayne Johnson, The Rock.
Oh man, how young are you?
He was
people?
in the 42,
so
almost
young.
43.
No, the original Sheriff Buford was a gentleman named Joe Don Baker, the Sweat King himself. Yep, Joe Don Baker played it back in 1973. And being of a generation who, let us do things like play in the back shelf of the window of the car with no seat belts and marinate us in cigarette smoke and all those other mental health, all those concerns, I was taken to see Walking Tall in 1973. I was born in 67, people. I was too young to be seeing Walking Tall. But if you've never seen the original Walking Tall from 1973 with Joe Don Baker, there is a terrifying MK Ultra scene in it. I'm not going to spoil it. Go see it. It's really good. It was a good movie. I've watched it quite a few times over the years. In fact, it was one of my regular rentals early in the days of renting a VCR and tapes at the local rental store. But yeah, definitely that storyline of Buford Pusser and his wife being attacked, if you will, seems to have kind of fallen apart. Looks like from evidence they, I believe they exhumed her body. Is that what I remember seeing in the story? They had exhumed his wife's body and they've looked at events. And there's been a tip about a potential murder weapon found. So they're all over this story that in fact he would killed her outside the car, put her body inside the car, that none of the wounds or anything like that go along with them being attacked. What is this thing? I've got some kind of blocker now coming up on my story that I didn't see when I put it in the pile with the phone, so I can't read the actual story now. I read it on my phone. Sure. But anyway, anything like that is just all these years later for them to pull that story out of. I mean, I think the actual event happened the year I was born, if I remember that in the story. So it's been like, a couple of years ago. But yeah, they did get down to the bottom of it all. Give me a second.
Yeah. Mike D is saying that
sorry.
They dug her up last year and they think they have the gun.
Yeah, that's what I was trying to read, but I couldn't get the damn store to act right. Sorry, I'm suddenly very sneezing. I think I muted it. I hope I didn't get any on y'all. What's up,
Nope.
Alan Holman? The Alan Holman, former line editor here at IRONWORX.
Did I see a story that says Alan is now a U.S. citizen? Is that what I saw? I say that in jest, Alan. But I did see there were a couple of those provinces over there that were considering one way or the other, at least trying to pressure Canada into maybe a little more relaxing on the bullshit. But I did see Saskatchewan was at least making comments. Thought it was a little funny.
Yeah, I saw that too. There was 3 of them, I believe, all along, like from the west, starting at the west coast and coming over. Those 3 provinces.
Seems like that.
Well, 3 of them said they'd rather be a part of the United States than be considered Canada still. Yeah, maps on lines do change from time to time.
Yeah, I think that's what's going to happen a lot in the United States, say the Middle East, which has been happening for at least the last 100 years in some dramatic ways. But I've also heard, I saw a documentary a while back about how the United States, the states, got their shape. Sort of like over on the East Coast, everything is very disorientated and zigzaggy and stuff like that. But the further you go west, such as Colorado and things like that, all of a sudden the states have these very clear, defined lines. And
they got tired and lazy.
Well, what
they all follow natural, river or this or that. In the West, it was like they were just looking from a map and we're like, yeah, I'm just going to draw a straight line here. I'll draw a straight line here. We'll make a cross here.
You're like, yeah, fuck it. Let's do it. Yeah. Who's going to contest
this out here?
But what I had heard also in regards to counties, because when I lived in Virginia, a lot of people out there were saying that a lot of farmers were taking their fence posts with their barbed wire or whatever, and they were moving them to basically expand their property line.
You can get another row of corn in there.
Yeah, exactly. But the other farmers would be like, oh, no, I remember that. That was my tree.
Mm-hmm.
And so they would just like this little battle going back and forth, and I don't know exactly how that worked out with the Hatfields and McCoys and whatnot, but that's why, that's the reason at least that I heard why some of those states over there are so zigzaggy and not like Colorado.
Uh-oh. Beep, 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 beep. Comet Atlas update. Its nucleus, primarily made up of carbon dioxide, according to a piece of paper someone wrote. Blah, 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 blah. It also contains water, carbon monoxide, and carbonyl sulfide, all of which are expected to be in a comet's coma. But the ratio of carbon dioxide to water is 8-to-1, the highest ever seen in a comet, and 6 standard deviations above the typical value. Blah, 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 blah. Okay,
Is
so...
this the comet that's supposed to be like an alien craft that's going to take over society?
Yeah, it's still like 200-something million miles away or something like that, and they already want to tell us they know what it's made of.
Oh, it's like Independence Day then. Okay, we're good to go. We're fine. Got to get Will Smith and Bill Plummer in it. We'll be fine.
So the comet is still alive. You know, I used to get excited about comets. I think the first two I got kind of excited about since I really started like watching space weather and stuff like that. Elenin was the first one. Nothing, couldn't even see it with the naked eye, barely. You know, nothing's. They were telling us it was going to rival the sun during the day, and you couldn't even see it at night. I mean, I think it was 2014 when one of those other comets came around. They were saying how big it was going to be, and this and that, and blah 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 blah. And I got all excited, and I was looking for it, never saw it. So you fooled me a couple times. I ain't getting excited about comets ever again. Now, according to history, some of them have really lit up like the night sky, right? Or whatnot. According to history.
Allegedly.
Yeah.
Of course, you know, a lot of that is history of light pollution more than history of us looking up in the sky and seeing shit. Because when Hellbot was coming through, being, you know, Comet Hellbot being followed by a UFO, shout out, Bo and Pete. Anyway, when that was going on, we were told it was going to be, oh, this and oh, that. And yeah, you looked up and saw this weird kind of almost cone-shaped smear, if you will, in the sky. And it was something you never saw before. But it really didn't take on that, until you got out to the dark, dark, dark places, like out on a boat in the middle of the Chapala Basin. Then you could see that it was a whole lot more than just a smear in the sky because of the lack of light pollution. So.
I think Steak and Shake might be the next one.
Oh. Your investment dollars ready?
Yeah, Cracker Barrel hits back at self-interested Steak and Shake CEO's poor leadership after online attacks. I don't know. Maybe not.
It all boils down to some... It was a legal immigrant, but he came here and made a bunch of money and invested in a bunch of restaurants and was in control of a bunch of restaurants, two of which were being Steak and Shake chain and the Cracker Barrel franchise. I think I heard this cat on the radio last week. Or at least a story about him. And how and why the Steak and Shake and what that connection between Steak and Shake and Cracker Barrel was. And why he said he told Cracker Barrel like 3 or 4 years ago. I was explaining to them exactly what it was that their appeal was. And I guess they had been talking about trying to make this transition. And he told them, no, don't do that. That'll never work. You will tank the business if you try that. But they ignored him. And they tried it. And they tanked. Steak and Shake, Alan, is almost, it's a throwback to almost like a diner situation. I don't think they're quite like smash burgers where they're super thin, but they're not like big, plump, juicy burgers. Maybe closer to something like McDonald's. They're a thinner patty up for burgers. And they sell French fries with chili and cheese. And then shakes. That's basic. I mean, it's really basic, common, real simple steaks, steak burgers, and shakes. And that's about the extent of it. It's all they really do. It's the same, basically the same interior, the same design, the same everything since hell, as long as I can remember, as far as I know. Steak and Shake just down the road here. But that was part of it, saying, look, we have this niche. This is what we fill. We're not going to completely reimagine our entire business model in an attempt to placate that vocal minority. We're just going to keep doing things the way we're doing. And that comes through through that feller that came in to the U.S. and made a bunch of money and invested in a bunch of restaurants.
Yeah, I haven't been to a Cracker Barrel in quite some time, but my mom is the one that wanted to go because she was on a cross-country trip with me from Virginia to Texas, and she wanted to stop off at a Cracker. I was like, what is a Cracker Barrel? What is this? And I was like, wow, this is actually really good food. I was like, cool, whatever. And then we stopped off at a couple more because I enjoyed the food so much. But now, the whole thing of go woke, go broke, I think that's what's happening with them. They might just be prepping to shut down. I don't know if that's the case or not. But I looked up the nearest Cracker Barrel to me. I think it's like 9 hours away. I was like, all right, well, whatever. I'm not going there again.
Yeah. Vanguard and BlackRock own over 30%. So I don't think this has anything to do about money.
Oh.
I don't think any of all these go woke, go broke. I would be willing to bet that both of them, those hedge fund companies, own more stock of these companies after the crashes. What's the best way to get more control of a company? Tank the stock. Get a bunch of people to sell it and buy it all up for cheap.
Oh, that's an interesting concept. Same thing that's going on with cryptocurrency. The same concept.
Yeah.
What do they call it? Short selling or something like that?
Huh?
It's like short selling?
Yeah.
Something like that?
Yeah, because they know they're going to have the stock for a decade, 2 decades, however long, right? I mean, if they wanted to tank a company, they could just destroy it. It wouldn't really affect their bottom line all that much. They own everything. But if you want more control of a company, you just tank it a little bit. Do one of these little hiccup glitches. Have your own little Dylan Mulvaney moment. And then people get pissed. Everybody sells all their shit. You buy it all up on the cheap. And then you have the company apologize. We're sorry. We didn't mean it. Blah, blah, blah. We'll put it right back where it is. And then that stock will come back up. Maybe not as high as it was before, but you own a lot more of that stock now. And the company is going to just go right on doing what it was doing. Yeah.
I don't exactly understand how this works. I know how the cryptocurrency thing works. But let's just say that company like Cracker Barrel, they have all this stock. They're a publicly traded company, and someone owns 99% of all the stock. And then one day, one company, BlackRock or Vanguard or whatever, they're like, you know what? Fuck it. I'm pulling out all of my stock and just cashing it in. Would that tank the company? Or is it like in an escrow account where it won't really affect the company? Yeah, I don't get how that works.
Yeah, I'm not sure. Once you go corporate like that and you're traded publicly, I know it's a lot harder to kill a company like that because it's owned by so many different people and yada, 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 whatnot. But no, in my opinion, all this is done on purpose. Pretty smart. But, I mean, shit, it took me years to catch on. When did they do the Bud Light thing? Was that 3 years ago? Something like that?
I think it was, about 3 years with Dylan Mulvaney, and their stock plummeted by, the shareholders, I think, were pulling out or something. I don't know much, but it was quite a bit.
Yeah, let's see what their stock has. And then they did Target, they did Harley, they did Jaguar, and now Cracker Barrel.
Well, they've also done it to like super innocent types of businesses like PBS when they made Bert and Ernie become like buck boys together.
Did you watch Sesame Street growing up?
A little bit.
Yeah. Nobody was surprised or shocked when that happened.
Well, I didn't think they were going to be they were Peter Puffers. Never thought that.
Again, Rubber Ducky? I mean, come on, man.
No, well, it was just one of those things that all
Rubber
of a sudden
Ducky?
pushed.
I mean,
No, I was not a really big fan of Sesame Street to begin with. I just didn't like.
Well, when I was a kid, that was it. There weren't that many other things to do at all, TV-wise. There weren't 100 cable shows with kid-oriented programming and all that stuff. We pretty much had Sesame Street, Electric Company, Schoolhouse Rock. That was about it for us on TV, educational.
All right, well, maybe as a little bit of a change of direction and subject, I got a question for people because I argued with some people about it. And that is about Stonehenge. Do you guys think Stonehenge is a legitimate thing, or was it just a fabricated type of location, a monument about, trying to show that this is actually a real thing, sort of like other areas that are legitimate? And I was talking to people from England about this on Discord. They were like, "Oh yeah, it's real. It's just they've been fucking with it a lot." Oh, but you can't even go up and touch it? Like, nope.
No, they fucked with that thing so much back in the day. It's got like concrete pillars inside some of the stones and whatnot. And it wasn't all standing. Like when they found it, they stood those stones back up. So it's not like a site that's been standing there just like that for 5,000 years. Bullshit. Jaron did an awesome video back in the day on Stonehenge, showing video of the construction of them standing up these pillars again and stuff like that. So, yeah, were the rocks there? Probably. Was it some significant site? Probably. Did it look exactly like it does today? Possibly. They got it right, stacking them back up. But to say for certain, no. I couldn't do that. It's a little different than like Göbekli Tepe, right? Where this one was buried in sand purposefully to preserve it. Where Stonehenge was not. It was out there in the elements and the weather for however long it was out there.
Yeah, but there's other locations I was bringing up as examples, such as the Georgia Guidestones, which were just obviously some sort of a terrorist attack or something, never caught, and it's not even conclusive as to who or when they were necessarily built. But also, there's the Stones of Karnak.
No, they know when the Georgia Guidestones were built.
Mm-hmm.
They're built in 1981.
Oh boy, had to go order all the granite and everything and pay the dude to carve it and pay the people to come and set them up.
50 grand. And he went by like a fake name, something Christian.
Was it RC Christian? I forget.
RC Christians. Yep.
Okay, because I've just heard a lot of conflicting stories about it, so that's why I'm not saying I can.
Yeah, they weren't sure the exact person's name because he did use, like a whatever those are called. But no.
Pseudonym?
They know when it was built and all that kind of stuff.
No one knows who they were.
They know who built it.
Oh, why they built
the granite company that did the work and all that. But I think
Piney knows.
knocked it down because it showed Polaris don't move like it's supposed to.
Yeah, the 8 languages, saying that the world's population, blah, blah, blah. But then also, people were allowed to go there. Yeah,
oh, yeah.
Yeah, you could go there. And I mean, Witsit went there with, on the tour and everything. And they flew a drone above it and everything. And yeah, no security around. I mean, they had security cameras, not very good ones. But then also the Stones of Karnak in France. You guys know what those are?
I've heard of them, but I can't.
Carson? Something about Johnny Carson. I'm not...
No. What? No, the Stones of Karnak are they're these stones that are equally as big as the one like the Georgia Guidestones, except they didn't have any carvings in them or anything, and they're lined up like a formation of a military type of marching group, and they're spaced out really, really well. So it's not a coincidence, and no one knows who put them there or how they got them there or even why they're there.
Yeah, that's crazy. All lined up in straight lines, big, huge boulders that go on like for a while, like well more than a football field. Just rows of them in straight lines. Huh.
Well, yeah,
those 3,000 standing stones arranged in long parallel rows across several kilometers. Wow.
Yeah, but people don't talk about that. But either way, there's no security. Anyone can go there and check them out, touch them, and I mean, even probably even put graffiti on them. Say again?
You ever seen the Sage Wall up in Montana?
No, I'll look it up though.
That'll blow your mind. They say it's a natural formation.
Sage Wall.
I'm sharing Johnny Carson's wall. Yeah, it's pretty nuts. And I don't know about it. It's one I didn't know until you said it.
Oh, this one. Okay, yeah, I've seen this. Okay. Yeah, I think I saw that on Ancient Aliens or something.
Could you throw this picture up I dropped in chat?
What's the name of it? Oh, you got it?
The wall, yeah.
I can do it. I'm here. I'm already sharing.
This is a historic megastructure discovered in Montana that they wanted us to believe is a natural formation. Yeah, that's all good. That's just natural.
Yeah, I've actually seen this one on one of the people that I watch.
And they say it goes all the way up into Canada. Like it breaks for a while. And then it's still... There's so much stuff out there that we don't know about. It's crazy, dude. So much stuff out there. It makes me think of when I was younger, exploring as a child. Some of the stuff I remember coming up on, walking down the old railroad tracks and this and that, and finding it, knowing it was made by a human, right? But just thinking, it's probably 10 years old, 20 years old, maybe. It could be ancient. It could be 20 years old. I'm like 7 or 8. So 20 years is a long time to me. And then you think about it now, and it's like, dude, that could have been like worth something at one time. Like I found this weird old looking thing out there, but it kind of looked like garbage, so I just left it sitting out there. Yeah, I remember stuff like that of childhood, coming across stuff like out in the middle of some woods, in the middle of a farmer's field, and finding like the foundation of an old structure, and then finding all kinds of crap laying around. And just thinking, it can't be that old, right? Yeah, this place is amazing, man. It's got so many secrets.
There's another thing that's actually very close to me, and I took a very long hike with my girlfriend and a couple other friends and we went up to it. And here in the Bay Area, up in the hills, because there's a place up there called Mission Peak, and if you travel way off into the mountains beyond the peak, it's just prairie fields for a long time. And all of a sudden you come across this one thing. And I never had heard about this before, even though I'd lived here for a long time. And it's this rock wall. It goes on for, I don't know how long, 20 miles or something. And I don't know if it was used as a means to try to keep cattle in or something like that, like a very primitive form of like a barbed wire fence or something. But I mean, it's built really, really well. I mean, a lot of it's deteriorating now, and there's no one knows who built it or necessarily why it was built. But it just goes on for a very long. It's not very, very tall. It's like 3 feet tall. But yeah, there's like these strange things out there that we don't know about. People can try to speculate on it, but I don't know, maybe in 5,000 years, people are going to start looking at some of the buildings that we had, like, oh, who built that one? Even though most of our buildings are going to collapse within a couple hundred years of them being built, because we build shit shitty nowadays. Like structurally, it's not going to be the same as stone.
You hear about those, what are those, Nazca?
Oh, yeah.
Lines
the Nazca lines.
Like that?
Yeah, they're sort of like the, that was also in Ancient Aliens. I used to watch that show like a lot before I woke up.
Before you knew about it?
AI has been looking at high altitude reconnaissance photos of that area and have found hundreds more of those giant, huge hieroglyphs, or whatever you want to call them, those pictures made out of the ground. Hundreds more of these hieroglyphs. Very interesting.
Yeah, and the crazy thing about it is it's sort of like crop circles. I'm 50-50 on crop circles, not like aliens or something, but there's something weird going on with those. And Dave Weiss actually gave a really good sales pitch on those. But the thing about, the Nazca lines, they are much larger than any crop circle. And they are perfect geometrically done. And doing that from the ground would be extraordinarily difficult.
Unless you were a species of giants playing in the dirt. Then it wouldn't have been hard at all.
How big would the giants have to be, though?
Imagine being able to walk right into
the ones
their
we're walking around on. What, Zach? I'm sorry.
The Bible says that there were beings tall enough that they looked at us like grasshoppers, Andrew.
Feeding.
Yeah, wouldn't
Could
that
you imagine a nostril of a humanoid being that you could walk right into, being that looked like a cave to you?
Well, yeah, those are like the Titans, and that's what Mike Stellium 7.
I can't fathom something that big. It's hard to imagine. When you sit down and really think about it, like walking on someone's face up to a cave that's their nose, that's like 10 feet tall. Really try to fathom that and put yourself in that. I can't. I still can't do it. Like where do you start? Do you start on the face? Do you start on, if it's laying on their back, do you have to climb up its shoulder? That would be like...
if it's going to be like a Jack and the Beanstalk kind of a story, okay. But if those giants were actually going to be creating those, just someone playing in the sand like a child or something, I would assume that because of their weight, they would be putting massive footprints like all over the place.
Would we know it as a human footprint if we saw it, especially from our vantage point?
Some sort of an imprint. Maybe not.
We could be standing in one of these imprints, and we would probably never know it. Because we would never think that there was ever anything that big, right? Yeah, it's hard to imagine something being that big. But I don't know.
And yes, as I said, Mike Stellium 7 over in Spain has been going through that one particular mountain that does look like an ancient mammoth or a titan.
Yeah, we had him on. We went through, dude, he went like into the eyeball of that thing and has pictures of skull, like where the skull comes together and sutures and the eyeballs. What's that vein or the thing that connects to your eyeball?
Retina?
Optic nerve?
No, optic nerve.
There you go.
And like
the myelin sheathing on the fucking nerves. Yeah, it's pretty crazy.
It looks like a petrified eyeball nerve. It's crazy, dude. It's hard to imagine. It really is.
And the thing that I respect about what he's doing is he didn't just go up there once or twice. He went up there a lot. And he was also doing research in regards to basically saying, I am not an expert with this, but I saw it and decided to do some research on the anatomy of giant elephants and things like that. And he's like, and for some weird reason, it matches. It's like, whoa, that's fucking trippy.
Yeah, I like that.
Big Pine Sailing said that NASCAR lines are just ovals. What are y'all talking about?
The NASCAR lines?
All except for Watkins Glen. Someone got drunk drawing that oval. I've been watching Formula One race car driver videos lately. Man, those guys are amazing athletes. Like the stuff that they put their bodies through is insane. Most professional athletes couldn't drive an F1 car. Just saying.
I remember you and I were having
pilot. You could be the most athletic person, but if you don't have the body to be a fighter pilot, then you can't be a fighter pilot. That's kind of how they are.
Yeah, I would say fighter pilots are probably a little different because they have to go through a different type of G-force and also the amount of communication and the training.
Go look up the specs for F1 and the G-forces that they put their bodies through.
Oh, we had a private conversation about this, I don't know, 6 months ago?
Stops.
Yeah. And
just coming to a stop, slowing down, most people's head would end up in between their knees with the force that is being pushed at the back of these guys' heads when they stop, the inertial forces. They don't have necks. It goes from like their shoulders up to the ears, and that's their neck.
Yeah, it may be a debatable topic, but I think there's more. Actually, I don't know if there's more fighter pilots than there are NASCAR drivers. There's a lot of NASCAR drivers, but there's not very many fighter pilots.
NASCAR's backyard drunk racing, whatever, compared to Formula One.
Yeah.
Formula One has no restrictions. You're just making the fastest possible car pretty much that you can. There are restrictions, but like, it's not like NASCAR. NASCAR is pretty much everybody gets somewhat of an even car, and it's more about who's the better racer. Or Formula One, you could have a car that's going to outperform every car out there if you can. And they're going for
control it.
Yeah, the fastest speeds possible that can be controlled. That's what they're looking for.
Yeah, I misspoke, but yes, you did show me those videos, and then after that, I binge watched a whole bunch of those. Like the pit crews, like the record, I think was like 2.9 seconds or something. Change out all 4 tires. And it's like, how? I mean, even the pit crew is pretty amazing. And then it's just right from there, 0 to 100 in 5 seconds or something. but I did work around a lot of fighter pilots, and I asked them, like when I was in the Navy, like how difficult is it to land like an F-22 on a flight deck or an F-18, whatever. And one guy, this captain, Navy captain, lieutenant, he pulled out a quarter from his pocket. He flipped it forward about 5 feet. He said, all right, put your hands at your side, close your eyes, and then nose dive exactly onto where that quarter is. And I was like, what the fuck? He's like, and then after that, try not to shit yourself as you're accelerating and decelerating. Because, they go up to, sometimes 1,600, 1,700 miles an hour in some of those planes. Plus, they have a payload they're carrying with them, and they're on the radio constantly. I mean, I don't know what's harder. I mean, I don't want to do either one, but yeah, it's just.
The only thing I might think would be really separated is the amount of time that they have to do it. Like the F1 drivers are doing it for hours. They have to go and push down that pedal at like 250 pounds 100 times.
Yeah, the fighter pilots, they have a limited amount of fuel. They don't refuel mid-flight. They have to come back, refuel, and then they get to go take a shit or something. And after that, they maintenance the aircraft and they put the bombs back on it and all that kind of stuff. But yeah, the F1 guys. I mean, how long do those races go on for?
Let me see.
Till the end. Till they reach the finish line. It goes on the whole time, Andrew. The whole fucking time.
1.5 to 2 hours long.
That's about how long a fighter jet can fly for. Maybe a little longer. No, actually, fighter jets can fly for a lot longer than that. Because when they took off from a lot of the flight decks, I saw them when we were invading Iraq. They would fly all the way inwards to certain locations, and they wouldn't come back for like at least 3 hours. But then they'd come back, and all their bombs were dropped, all their missiles were gone, and it was mostly bombs. And that's when they got to get out, drink a little bit of water, and stretch their legs and whatnot as they were maintaining or checking the maintenance on the aircraft, and then they would get right back in it and do it again. And they get paid a lot less than F1 drivers, Formula One drivers, I think.
There's those guys that do the kind of the same thing. I forget what they call them, but they'll do like 24 hours races. It'll be two different guys that do the racing, but in a 24-hour period, you're in that car for 12 of them. That's crazy. It could be raining, doesn't matter. They don't stop the race. It's a 24-hour race.
The Cannonball Rush? Talking about something like that?
This is the Le Mans Grand Prix.
Oh, it's the one in France, right?
I think so. Yeah, it does a 24-hour race, and whoever gets the furthest. It's not like you go so many laps, and if you hit this lap, you win. Race there first. No. Whoever is furthest along after a 24-hour period.
And they outlawed the Cannonball Run. Can't do that anymore.
It's always been illegal. I'm going to look it up. Cannon. Yeah, they had a Burt Reynolds.
Eastbound and down.
Cannonball Run record. I think it's something crazy. 27 hours and 25 minutes, set in 2020. by Arnie Tamon and Doug Tabbutt.
I didn't realize they were still doing the Cannonball Run as early as 5 years ago, or as late as 5 years ago.
Oh, no. As of August 2025, the overall record is 25 hours and 39 minutes with an average speed of 112 miles per hour. What? That's having to stop for gas and stuff.
Yeah, that's the average speed.
Yeah. Meanwhile, it's like, oh, there's highway patrol. Fuck off. You can't drive as fast as us. I'm in a fucking Lamborghini or something, or in a whatever.
Yeah, you want to see a pretty cool racing movie. Not quite 100% accurate, but there's a pretty good racing movie. Go watch that Ford versus Ferrari. It's about, because Ford was going to buy Ferrari back in the day in the mid-'60s. And then the deal fell through and Fiat bought Ferrari, and old man Enzo, who owned Ferrari, called Henry Ford. He told him, "You're not Henry Ford. You're Henry Ford II. You're fat and this and that and lazy and blah, 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 and you'll never be your father." And it pissed him off so bad he went and spent a shitload of money just to beat him in that one race, the Le Mans. But it's a pretty good movie. It's all about how they came up with the Ford PT40.
What's the other one that just came out? Was it called F1 with Brad Pitt?
Yeah.
I watched like 20 minutes of it, and it seemed pretty good. But then people said, oh, yeah, it gets like super political at the end, like PC political. I was like, all right, whatever.
I don't know. Maybe I might have missed that part. I do a lot of watching these movies while I'm playing video games. I'm just kind of listening to them for the most part.
Yeah, that's how I do it too. Like when I'm like folding my laundry, washing dishes, and that kind of stuff.
Yeah, if it's like a real good movie and grabs my attention, I'll turn off the video game and like pay attention to the movie. But that's how I usually start a lot of movies. If I don't know if I'm going to like it or not, I'll just put it on to the side and kind of listen. Rush. I haven't seen Rush, a good racing F1 movie. Thanks, Billingtano. I'll check that out. Oh.
Yeah, I haven't seen like a really good movie in a while. Yeah, is there anything really fucking good? Oh, Naked Gun. You guys got to watch the new one.
Yeah, we
talked about that.
We talked about that
before you jumped in. I thought it was great. I thought he did a really good job. I thought they both did. He and Pam Anderson, for being like stupid funny, I thought they were great together.
Yeah, it's definitely very.
They're an item now. I guess they're going out now. He and Pam Anderson, after that, they made that move.
That's what I heard too. And they're like 20 years apart from each other or more.
Yeah, once you get so old, you're just old.
Does it make a difference?
I mean, I'd date Pamela Anderson. She's rich, and her pictures are not giving her justice very much because people are just putting up like the worst pictures of her while she's, I don't know. I mean, I'd still bang her.
Would you date an 18-year-old?
Why?
No, I don't have. Nope.
No? 19?
Too immature. Nah. I would say 29 or older would be my limit.
Because anybody 29 and older is too immature?
No. I'm saying that I don't want to date someone that, hey, I live in California, so there's a different type of mentality out here. If you talk to like an 18-year-old out here, then it's very different. And I'm a teacher, and I do have to teach 18-year-olds from time to time. And even though I do have some of the younger girls that come into my class, they are extraordinarily attractive, and they're 18. They're less than half my age. So no, I would not do that. Even though sometimes they flirt with me for some reason. I don't know why, but...
So we're clear, you're opposed to dating young, hot girls?
at that age. It's not going to work. Okay.
Okay. Well, you have an issue against dating adult hot girls.
They're technically adults, but I'm not going to get into a trap, Josh. Come on.
No, there's just
the next thing you know, the fucking FBI is going to be knocking on my door again.
That's why we got to make sure we keep it legal. That's why I said 18. I wanted an adult, someone who could.
The age of consent in several states is actually 16. So would I date one of them? The answer would also be no. When I was in Thailand, age of consent is 15. Answer is still no.
So is that just a personal choice? You don't have any issue with, say, if Walter wanted to date a 19-year-old?
What's going on?
I'm just curious.
I think that if someone is young enough to be your daughter, you shouldn't be messing with them.
I'm just trying to get a gauge on your respect for women. Right now, what I've decided is 18-year-olds are just too fucking immature to be able to do much of anything, let alone choose who they should date.
Okay, well, my answer is solid. And like I said, normally I have a +5, -5 situation, but there are exceptions to the rule, obviously.
But it's solid. It's solid. Okay, why?
Sort of. Yeah.
My question is why? Explain your solidity. Show me how solid that is.
All right. Well, no, it's not completely solid. Like I said, if Sydney Sweeney were to knock on my door right now,
turgid.
I mean, and I'd be like, all right, this is we're getting it on.
Right. Really? In California, you think Sydney Sweeney's the hottest chick you could come up with?
She is smoking hot.
Oh,
that chick that looks like she's got fetal alcohol syndrome. That girl.
What? All right. Well, I guess that's due to
her mama drinking when she was pregnant.
This hotness. What's her name? Sydney
Sweeney. She did that commercial about being racist.
No, I had nothing to do with it. It was just a play on words.
Telling me anything.
She did a commercial.
I've never laid eyes on that person before in my life.
Can't believe
just look it up. That's what the internet's for.
God, I'm so but you know.
You and Shell haven't watched a show with her in it or a movie with her in it?
No, we don't do that. I don't see anything in her list of stuff that we would have ever even considered watching.
All right. Either way, she's 32, I think, something like that. And yeah, I'm 42. Yeah, the +5, -5 kind of thing would be gone. Pamela Anderson, that rule's gone as well. And
I'd rather have Pam Anderson than
so you
Sydney
like
Sweeney.
plastic? I wouldn't want either one of them ever. God, there's way too much plastic involved in them.
Pam Anderson got rid of all of her stuff. She took her.
That don't matter. That's the mentality was there.
All right. Well,
place.
I mean,
she's repulsive in every way.
All right. Well,
but that's just my personal opinion. I could be wrong.
I'd bang her. I have no problem with that. But then there's other women as well that I would say they are like my exact same age, and I'd be perfectly fine with dating them. I mean, I have sort of a girlfriend, and she's how much older is she? She's 11 months older than me. No problem. No big deal.
And that's the animal lover?
Yes.
It's a little flaky, you said?
Very. And that's why it's not really a girlfriend. And it's more like a fuck buddy. You know, we've known each other since we were 14. And it's not like one of those things that I'm never going to marry her. I know that. And she already said she's never going to get married or have kids. And I'm like, all right, well, whatever. Fine. I don't give a shit. But then again, I am looking for that special one at some point.
It's not Pam Anderson.
Well, no, I didn't say I was going to marry her. I mean, she's got a lot of fucking money. That wouldn't be too bad. But she's already had like 5 husbands, so that probably wouldn't work out very well.
Alan Holman in chat says he respects women enough that any adult woman who chooses him will get a fair chance. That's what's up, brother.
All right, thank you. Respectful. It's a tough thing to... I was engaged, and that bitch cheated on me, and that's when it went downhill, especially when she threw all my fucking tools into Lake Anna. That's when it got really bad. And I was like, all right.
Crazy, you never mind.
Yeah. I should have never done that. That was in Virginia. But hence the reason I don't live in Virginia anymore. But I'm always...
She ran you out the whole state?
Oh, yeah. Oh, it gets more complicated than that. I'm not going to get into it right now. But either way, the thing is, yeah, I've got a couple of ladies that I got my eye on. And one of them, I'm not really sure if I can, because she is the director of education at my school. And she's pretty hot and has a PhD and all that kind of stuff. And yeah, we've I don't know, like a little bit of flirting going back, but you can't do that at work. No, that can't really do that. People get fired pretty quick for that. But other ladies, they definitely cannot be atheists. It's just weird. And I mean, there's stipulations too. I'm a little picky. I've learned how to do that. But also, I've had some ladies that were pretty much close to my mom's age, in their early 70s, flirt with me, and I'm like, yeah, it's just not going to work. So, anyways, I'm going to shut the fuck up now. This is getting awkward. I was trying to talk about like the 7 wonders of the world and like Machu Picchu and all these different things, just kind of seeing where you guys' perspective is on it, and Stonehenge, which I think was already covered significantly enough. But other ones, like the great mysteries of the pyramids, even though these places were...
Haven't I just seen footage of them building the pyramids late in history? Haven't I just seen that go by? I didn't watch it yet.
Was it AI? I don't think that's possible.
I don't know. Pretty sure. No, it's kind of like the Stonehenge thing where, yeah, the reason it's possible is because it happened way recent that we didn't understand that. Hang on, let me go see.
So
it probably was AI. I don't trust anything anymore. For sure.
Well, Walt, you did actually send me a video about how, this is like probably a year ago, maybe more, about how they were using, the water. Yeah. I don't know. It would just take so much precision to get those entirely large blocks right into place. And it's not just the blocks on the outside. Well, but there's other blocks on the inside that are the size of a fucking house. Like solid stone blocks. Like, how is that explained? Those things are like 200 tons or something.
Man, where is the footage? I mean, the video. I'm not seeing it, of course, now.
But it's not just those pyramids. It's all of the pyramids. There's ones in the United States.
There's quite a few failed pyramids around. I mean, there's like not... There are pyramids that didn't work. angles were too steep. They collapsed in, they collapsed out. I mean, there's evidence of them trying to get it right and not getting it right, you know? So to me, that kind of leans back into the idea of the water and them trying to figure it out, not like magic floaty rocks or the coral castle technology or any of that other stuff. Now, don't get me wrong. I've seen some crazy stuff with people moving huge blocks around with their fingertips, literally. But I'm just not seeing it. It probably was freaking AI. You're most likely correct, good sir. The video I thought I saw go by was probably just one in my feed, and I never did save it, so I can't find it. I'm not seeing anything like what I remember seeing on YouTube. I see a lot of references to like the water idea and giants did it and things like that. And I mean, you know, there's always that idea as well. If there are big people running around, they can play with little rocks, and they would be big rocks to us. Oh, and a lot of stories about the stuff they allegedly found underneath it, but I'm still not seeing a story about recent building of it. If I find it, I'll pop it in here. So before we get too further down the road, I keep seeing this in chat. I wanted to comment on it earlier, and then things got in the way mentally, and I forgot to. Alan Holman in chat has been putting out a cartoon there on his channel. If you guys haven't had a minute to go check it out, definitely do so. I'm still playing catch up. My goodness, sir, the amount of content you've suddenly got on your channel is incredible. So go check that out. If you click on his name there in chat, you'll see three little three little periods pop up. And if you click on that, you can go to channel, or at least you can if you're a blue moderator in chat. If you're not, then you should be, and we'll fix that for you. But definitely head over there to Alvin Holman's channel and check that out. I've checked out a few of them now. I finally went back to the first one, and I'm now in order, because when I started, it was one that was in the middle of a premiere, apparently, that was just happening. I hopped in, saw that it was definitely a storyline that had been going already. At the moment I hopped in, there was nobody technically in the chat. So I just said, well, I better go back and play catch up. So that's what I'm in the process of doing. Now, I've seen you post twice in the chat, Alan, that you are putting one out, or you've got it ready and putting it out, or it's out and I haven't watched it yet. I'm not sure 100% which one of those it is, but you've mentioned that you have an episode that features this very show, IRONWORX, and Josh, Zack, and myself. And we are highly honored, sir, that you would do such a thing. So I can't wait to see that one. But I will see it in order. Again, I'm trying to do them in order so I can keep up with the storylines multiply. But yeah, good stuff, man. And definitely, what did I do? Oh, the cat helped me. Sorry, I've got some.
All right, I just looked into the chat, and this is fucking hilarious. Walking Axel, you'll go to jail for animal cruelty for spray painting a dog. I don't know where that came from. That's what? I'll have to go back and read exactly like where that came from.
Where that started, right?
I have no idea. All right. I hope that was a joke.
It looks like they're talking about different types of animal breeds, perhaps. Zebras painted like donkeys. A pit painted like a Dalmatian. So apparently that's what they were talking about. I'm trying to play catch up too, buddy. And that's my first inkling of any of it. Right, Piney did the same thing I did. He hopped into a premiere and it was like episode 13, so he's going to go back and start at the beginning.
And yes, Tanya, or Tanya, however you pronounce it, Tanya D.
So Tanya
yes,
D.
Old folks need love too. I agree,
yes,
but again, I'm 42, So
You're not old, Andrew. Don't let her tell you that. Anything different.
I don't even know what she looks like or how old she is. I don't know. So
you're not old. You're not old.
I didn't say I'm old. I feel like I'm young. I still have a sex drive like a fucking 15-year-old.
Whoa, that escalated quickly.
Yeah, well, whatever. Anyways, yeah, I didn't want to get back into that.
We've got Chilster Deluxe pulling over to type in chat. That's better. That's good. That's good hands-free driving, buddy. Thank you. Episode 96, which is not out yet, has IRONWORX in it. So it isn't out yet. It's just been produced. It hasn't been posted. I'm taking from that. So cool. Thank you, sir. I will go and look for that in the future. Seemed like there were some other things. Oh, yeah. Zack, are you still around? Are you in the process of getting ready?
He must be in
Looks
the
like
process.
he must be in the process. Yeah. Well, I saw that Ravenlocks had put, oh man, I can't find it now. Ravenlocks had put in the chat a movie that I had not seen.
Which movie was that? You've been kitty muted too, by the way, Walter.
Yeah, and I was talking away, and she sure did step right over it. Right on it. So, yeah, I'm still looking for it in the chat. Just drop that back in there if you can for me. Ravenlocks, what the movie was that brought you to tears. Oh, and then way back up there, another thing I was going to mention, Piney, Big Pine Sailing, has built a catio for his cats. Yeah, man, I've looked into some out there that are purchasable. They're kind of pricey, and I don't have the carpentry tools mostly. I could probably skill it up and make something that would work. I just don't have the tools for that in my life any longer, and don't have... probably not the skill set either. You have a good time. I mean, a good sleep there, Alan. It was The Art of Racing in the Rain, Zack. Put that in the chat for me, if you would, someone. Zack. Trying to copy it, but why can't I copy that? You can't just scroll and copy paste out of chat anymore. There it goes. You have to go the opposite direction. It's
Makes
crazy.
sense.
You do. Yeah. You can't start at the end and go back. You have to start at the back and go in. What? Didn't.
It's those damn satanic Freemasons. Got to invert everything.
All right. We take that. Thank you, Raven, for that. And I dropped it in our call chat for Zack to see. All right, I think I'm caught up on everything I had mentally noted in the chat. Thank you, guys. Can't believe I kept some of that long. Chicken wire, yeah, I can imagine, man. It's been years since I bought any chicken wire. How expensive it would be. Right, Piney, I figured you did from just things you talked about in chat. Some of us are definitely more mechanically and carpentry inclined, and you definitely seem to do a lot of work in that area with maintenance and properties and stuff. Let me get back to our little pile here. Oh, wait. Somebody's sharing. What am I seeing?
That's me. I don't know why they wanted to start playing some stupid fucking ass ad. And there's probably like 12 of them. But they just didn't want to make ad plural. Oh, good. No, this is the Chinese. Something about their space station, or they're trying to build some shit on the moon or something. So they gave us this terrific animation to show us what they have planned.
Uh-huh. Wow.
Well, at least they got the shadows right. It's like they paid special attention to get the shadows right.
So they brought their lawn chair go-kart too, but they have a swing for it. I like it.
But do you think they make this so bad so they can use it in comparison?
Their shitty one?
Uh-huh.
Make their shitty one look better? Yeah, I'm pretty sure they do.
This is the best we could do for CGI moon landing stuff. Until we get there.
There's no way this is crap. It's fake, right?
Oh, yeah. I'm not sure I'd understand it if I had the volume on, but I'd be real curious what the hell they were saying.
I would too, especially that big beam thing going to the earth that was so expansive.
Right. Well, I mean, that's not necessarily a thing. Like, have you tried buying new headlights these days? All these LEDs are just so fucking bright. I think that's just what it was showing. What'd you do? Where'd you go? There you are. See? Yeah, it just shows how bright the new headlights are. The new Chinese headlights. Like, that's real fucking bright.
So, oh.
All right.
So for a little left turn here, for those of you in states that are able to either grow your own cannabis there, some states have a 6-plant limit, some have 3, some have 1, some you can't grow. But if you're in a state where you're growing your own cannabis, or perhaps you're a farmer that has a whole lot of cannabis and does a whole lot of awesome things with it. Shout out Daryl Davis, Flat Earth Farm. But there is some new information, new old information really, though, because there are those of us who played around with cannabis leaves and found out they're pretty volatile. Generally speaking, fan leaves and sucker leaves and things like that are discarded in the curing process. I know that there are people who do go ahead and dry it up and use it for things like edibles or other types of concentrates, but the general consensus was the amount of THC that's available in things like stems and sucker leaves and fan leaves really isn't worth the effort that would be required to extract said things like phenoms and come on baby, sit down. I'm sorry, I'm fighting with the cat to keep her off the keyboard while I'm looking at this. But things like, there's a word for it, not phenolic compounds. There's a better word for it, not flavonoids. Come on, brain, wake up. Terpenes, that's the word I can't think of this early in the morning. But apparently, in some new research out of the Stellenbosch University, they have uncovered evidence of a rare group of phenolic compounds known as flavoalkaloids in cannabis leaves. These particular flavonoids are a highly valued compound known for their antioxidant, anti-inflammatory, and anti-carcinogenic effects. In their study, The researchers analyzed 3 commercially cultivated cannabis strains from South Africa and identified 79 distinct phenolic compounds. Of these, 25 had never before been reported in cannabis, and 16 were tentatively classified as flavoalkaloids. These rare compounds were found primarily in the leaves of just one strain, which they did not list here for some reason. These published findings were published in the Journal of Chromatography A. And there's a nice little chromic display here that really wouldn't mean much to anyone other than people who study such things, so I won't bother sharing it. Dr. Margaret Mueller, an analytical chemist in the LCMS laboratory at the Central Analytic Facility at Stellenbosch University, and first author on the paper, said the analysis of plant phenolics are challenging due to their low concentration and extreme structural diversity. Quoting her, most plants contain highly complex mixtures of phenolic compounds, and while flavonoids occur widely in the plant kingdom, flavoalkaloids are very rare in nature, she explains. We know that cannabis is extremely complex. It contains more than 750 metabolites, but we did not expect such a high variation in phenolic profiles between only 3 strains, nor to detect so many compounds for the very first time in the species, especially the first evidence of flavoalkaloids in cannabis. This was very exciting. So, long story short, don't throw away your leaves. I mean, there's a little more to it than that here in the story, but it gets into just a lot of who said this and who said that, and comprehensive 2-dimensional liquid chromatographic study of cannabis phenolics and first evidence of flavoalkaloids, blah, 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 that kind of stuff. Hard words for me to say. Yeah, just kind of scanning through, see if there's anything pertinent that I should share more in the story there. But you get the gist of it. Huh. Interesting. CBD breakthrough. Scientists have unlocked how to reduce THC's side effects and enhance its benefits, apparently. It would be by using CBD, but we already know that. Or those of us who research this type of stuff already knew that. In fact, when I first started looking into CBD for pain management, I was told that if I was looking to change my headspace there in Oregon, where it was quite easy to do with legal cannabis, that I shouldn't then go ahead and ingest CBD following that, because the CBD would dampen and hinder the head that I was seeking with THC, that it interferes with its effects. So I don't know why this is considered a new story when I was being told that in just about every dispensary I went in looking for CBD plants, which at that point were ridiculously rare and ridiculously expensive. $100 a gram in 2010, 12, something like that. 2012, I would guess. Let me think. Took her out there in 2010, finally got her card. Yeah, 2012, they were charging $100 a gram for CBD shark strain. But yeah, definitely not new. Just trying to see why it's considered new. A breakthrough. Here we go. A breakthrough in CBD-THC interaction. They've discovered the locations. They've discovered the locations on this protein molecule where CBD binds, meaning future research could turn down, quote unquote, or minimize the side effects of THC use. So the primary objective is to harness the beneficial effects of THC while mitigating its undesirable side effects. What would that mean? I don't understand. I know there are people who don't want their head all messed up and they're looking for pain relief. I get that. I mean, I don't get it, but I get that. Apparently they're looking into CBD's potential impact on opioid use because it apparently, oh wait, no, it doesn't apparently. In the event that it should show that CBD binds to an opioid receptor, you could have negative interplay with opiate drugs like morphine. If you're getting pain relief from opiates and if CBD negatively interferes with the opioid receptors, it's going to frustrate people who are prescribed said opiates. Interesting. But yeah, they're working on using CBD to turn on and off the effects of THC. What other interesting cannabis? Oh no, Sherry, I saw you in chat earlier. I didn't see much from you after that, so you may not be here currently, but I'm also not looking at chat. But this headline is definitely concerning. Chocolate interferes with cannabis potency. No. So, 2012, Washington, Colorado, first states to legalize recreational marijuana. Since then, several other have joined. And cannabis-infused edibles, including gummies, chocolates, etc., have flooded the market. Blah, 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 da, da, da. Researchers now report that compounds in chocolate might be interfering with cannabis potency testing, leading to inaccurate results. My research focuses on cannabis potency testing because of the high stakes associated with it, says David Dawson, PhD, project principal investigator, where I didn't see the name of his principal investigation, but that's fine. If an edible product tests 10% below, if an edible cannabis product tests 10% below the amount on the label, California law states it must be relabeled, which is considerable time and expense. But even if this is a hard paragraph to read for some reason. Probably my brain's not awake. But it's even worse if the product tests 10% or more above the labeled amount, because then the entire batch must be destroyed. No. 1528. And manufacturers add cannabis to a wide variety of foods. And the composition, We also noticed, kind of anecdotally, that there were some weird potency variations depending on how we prepared chocolate samples for the testing. The results were surprising. When we had less cannabis-infused chocolates in the sample vial, say 1 gram or so, we got higher THC potencies and more precise values than when we had 2 grams of the same infused chocolate in the vial. So long story short, stop making chocolate edibles, I guess. There's a lot of stuff in this story that really doesn't get anywhere fast here. And it all seems to revolve around their testing measures anyway.
We're just rolling right through it. We only got about less than a half hour left.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
And I'm looking through these story headlines, seeing if there's anything else that might be... here we go. We knew it was coming eventually. So Big Pharma apparently is aiming to make a better CBD, up to 50 times more potent. So, I mean, I get it. Trying to make it better, I guess, for the pain relief people and whatever. But when you start doing this kind of stuff, concentrating, separating and not getting full plant synergy. I don't know. I'm just not excited about that. I'd rather have full plant synergy myself, but that's just my personal opinion. I'm probably not a scientist or even playing one here at TFR.
You guys hear there's a new shot out called liquid marijuana?
I've seen a few different things go by about like liquid, what's the word for it? Like cannabis sodas and stuff not being the big hit they were thinking they were going to be, and replacing beer and things like that in markets. I haven't really seen anything about shots though.
No, it's not THC at all. It's just alcohol.
Okay.
But it's called liquid marijuana, I guess.
I'm very
lady
confused.
I work with was telling me about it. She said they taste good, but there's no THC at all. It's just alcohol.
Okay.
Oh.
Did you see that story, or not story, the name of that movie that I dropped in the chat from Ravenlocks for you?
I don't think so. I was driving.
That's what I thought you might be. There's a movie called The Art of Racing in the Rain. You were looking for good racing movies earlier. Ravenlocks recommends that highly. Said it brought her to tears. So I'll be checking that out as well. But it's in this show chat, the name of it, if you want to consult later.
There's a new movie on Netflix. Got Helen Mirren and Pierce Brosnan and a bunch of old famous actors. Thursday something Murder Club.
I did see that go by and saw that there were a lot of interesting people in it. You watching it?
Yeah, I watched it. It was pretty good. You know, not action packed or anything like that, but as far as like a funny mystery type of thing, yeah, really well done, I thought.
Cool. I've actually gotten Michelle to watch Alien Earth with me, which I'll be honest, at first I was not as, excited about as I wanted to be. But as it's progressed and they've come out with more episodes, it's gotten better. It just was a little, what's the word, broad, I guess, at first. It's just a lot of shit happening all at once, a lot of stuff you really didn't understand. I know they do that a lot in storytelling now, just throw you into it and hope you get it along the way. Not my favorite kind of storytelling, but it's working so far. And at this point, we just watched the latest episode, and the main idea of this xenomorph creature is really presented a lot in this newest episode. I don't want to spoil it in case anyone's watching it, but yeah, that's been my main bitch about the whole thing, is for a show called Alien Earth. Haven't seen a whole lot of alien stuff just yet, just less alien and more aliens, varieties thereof. And so again, I don't want to spoil too much if you haven't seen it or plan on watching it, but definitely it has picked up. Storyline and the action has picked up quite a bit over the last couple of episodes. It definitely gave me the 1979 seeing the movie the first time feeling a couple of times in the latest episode. A lot of it is just the sets being very similar to the Nostromo from the first movie, using the same, everything, basically. I mean, even the keyboard they're using to type, talking to Mother, the computer, looks the same as the one from the 1979 movie. Just really haven't seen, or I haven't looked into yet, where this whole event that we're watching unfold in the series is supposed to have taken place, or whatever in the timeline of the whole overview of the movies and stuff. So I'm sure we'll get to that at some point. That's really why I haven't looked ahead or looked it up to see when this is supposed to be happening, because I'm sure at some point we'll get a shot of somebody, Ripley or Ash or one of the guys in the movie. So, or not, who knows? But yeah, I've definitely gotten more into it. A lot of the problem with some of the later ones for me was the CGI versions they had running around everywhere of the xenomorphs. So they've used a guy in a suit quite a bit in this one, which gives it a reality. Practical effects are always better than computer generated, in my opinion. Hi, buddy. Hi, buddy. Or is that Mama? Somebody's scratching the hell out of the back of my chair. It's Mama.
You started watching this new season of Peacemaker yet?
I didn't, not yet. We had debated on going back and watching the other stuff again, just because it's been a long time since we've watched them. And I know that they'll have, like, you know, callbacks to stuff we may or may not remember. And then something else came up and we haven't started watching it. Have you?
Yeah. You don't need to go back and watch the first one.
Okay, cool.
First episode starts off kind of slow. I don't know. I'll just say one thing. It's like they're going into like the multiverse. DC multiverse.
Yeah. Well, that's kind of been James Gunn's plan, is to create the new, you know, multiverse thing. That's why we got thrown into the Superman movie with all these established characters that nobody knew who the fuck they were. I'm less excited about the new Peacemaker now that I've actually seen the new Superman movie.
Yeah.
So, you know. But I mean, you know, nobody is going to hit it out of the park every time. I get that. Even James Cameron has had movies I haven't enjoyed. You know, so has Sam Raimi, one of my favorite directors. So for that to be a thing is not surprising. It's just disappointing, you know. But even the later, at least the very last one of Guardians of the Galaxy that he was involved with, while it definitely did get more into the Rocket history tale of it all, how Rocket became what he is, that whole thing with the golden dude and all that shit just seemed like it didn't play well, the storyline or the actor they had playing. Honestly, I don't even remember the name of the character, but yeah, that last movie of his just kind of was, it was a movie. That's kind of how I felt about the whole Superman thing. It was a movie. I could have seen that on TV and been just as fucking happy, if not better off, not dealing with the people in front of me with their cell phone on every 2 minutes. And Michelle saying, don't say nothing, you're going to get your butt kicked. I'm like, yeah, I don't think so. But I might get arrested, and that's no fun when you're trying to watch a movie. So, anyway, that's why we don't go places much anymore, because other people are not considerate at all in any way, shape, or form. Because they've been allowed to be inconsiderate for so long now, they just assume that's the way to be. Talk on their phone with it in their hand. And I got to hear all their conversation and walk around. I'm going to stop. No, not. It's too late in the show for a rant. Yes, Laura, my grandmother put eggshells in her percolator as well. I don't know where that came from. I just noticed it in chat, and it took me back to being in Grandma's kitchen at 3 a.m. when she would wake up for the day. Melissa, edibles definitely tend to have a heavier body effect for me as well, and eventually they definitely help me sleep better, but I'm a mutant and I have such a high tolerance for edibles, always have, even before they were so easily accessible. Back as a kid, not kid, but like in teen like years, people making out, brownies and having them at parties or whatever. And yeah, cool, give me one. Okay, can I have another one? Okay, can I have another one? Just never did get what I was looking for from the edible side of things. But I figured it out. I definitely figured it out. What are you doing, silly girl? Okay, lay down. Lay down. Lay down. I can see that it would add calcium for sure, Laura. I actually made my own calcium citrate using eggshells a few years ago when I was trying to be an alchemist, I guess.
Don't worry about the job market on Earth, Gen Z, says Sam Altman, Jeff Bezos, and Elon Musk. They said you're going to be working in space soon.
Right. And the McDonald's they're about to put in orbit, right?
Yeah.
What else are serving up the space burgers?
The class of 2035 will be exploring the solar system. Yeah, guess what, Sam? We've heard all this before.
Yeah, I was hearing that back in 1973 that I'd be in space exploring it. By the time I got in high school, I'd be ready for it. I'd be learning stuff in class to get ready to go have lunch on the moon.
They sold tickets in the 70s. They were selling
tickets. Yes, they did.
50 years ago. People are still sitting there holding that ticket in their hand like, what the fuck? It's, oh my God. So he says, there's a growing list of billionaires who are bullish about life in space. In fact, they believe young people a decade from now may be leaving behind career prospects on Earth in favor of the broader solar system. How about you leave low Earth orbit first, and then we can start having these discussions? Just saying. Like, you can't even get to our moon. So what are you talking about here? Oh. If they still go to college at all. And very well be leaving on a mission to explore the solar system on a spaceship in some completely new, exciting, super well-paid, super interesting job. Yeah, because I'm sure all the cooks up there and the janitors, I bet the job just changes dramatically because you put space in front of it. I'm a space cook now. So everything changes, and it's exciting. These Gen Alpha people with these sky-high salaries, they'll be feeling so bad for you and I that we had to do this really boring old work, and everything is just better. Good Lord. It doesn't even sound convincing. It sounds like a bullshit scam. Don't worry, when you get to space, everything will be better. Humans on Mars as soon as 2028, says Elon. I think it's going to be the best business that I've ever been involved in, but it's going to take a while. as a 61-year-old, that at least indicates space travel will be a mainstream reality in his lifetime. What? The company's mission is focused on a future where millions of people will live and work in space with a single-minded purpose: to restore and sustain Earth. But Bill Gates says he's sticking to planet Earth. There's still a lot of people here that need to be eradicated. Bill's got lots of work to do here on Earth. Oh, man.
Watch out. Get out. Get out. Come on, baby. Get off the keyboard. Come on. Oh, what have you done there? Oh. Am I muted? Am I not?
Nope, we hear you. What else is going on? You got about 10 minutes.
I thought Andrew had gone to bed, but he's in chat. What's up, dude? So apparently, and this could be, subjective, but wait, where's the story at? Wait, what just happened? Oh, so I clicked on the story whose headline I'm reading. Okay. Go to the chair, go to the story. Okay, there it is. So you got to click on the actual lines that have the underlined click, not the actual picture of the story. I see. Anyway, apparently a new study from Earth.com, according to Earth.com, the study claims dark matter does not exist, and the universe is 27 billion years old. There you go. So yeah, blah, 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 decades of what we thought was this and what we've been told was that. Dark matter, dark energy, ordinary matter, blah, blah, blah. And this also guided textbooks, space missions, and how we read the sky. But it also has raised tough questions that have never quite gone away, mainly because of the fact that dark matter and dark energy have never actually been seen, or measured, or experienced in any fucking way. But there's a new line of thinking. It takes those questions seriously, and suggests we may not need those dark, invisible components after all. Rajendra Gupta has proposed a model that aims to explain the universe without dark matter or dark energy. He is, or I'm not sure if he or she is, but they are, an astrophysics teacher at the University of Ottawa. What's up, Alan? Argues that familiar assumptions might be impeding progress. So we're just going to ignore all these errors and things that don't matter. Oh, Lord, this is a long one. Sorry. May not have had the time to start this story. It's already almost time to go. Standard breakdown, dark matter makes up about 27% of the universe. Ordinary matter that we can detect directly adds up to less than 5%. The rest is labeled dark energy. Huh? Good. I'm adding that up and it don't work. Let me go see who's meowing at me. Something's going on. That's very unusual. I'm sorry. Something's happening.
Uh-oh.
So the UK is shutting down their space agency.
Wow. So
They
all of
didn't
ESA?
come there just to surprise.
Wait, the UK, the entire European Space Agency, or just
the UK?
What was UK space program called?
I'm not sure.
Oh,
Okay,
big,
sorry.
Gonna be a big loss then.
Yeah, it gives most of its budget to the European Space Agency. I guess it was formed in 2010 with the goal of propelling the country's space and satellite sector into the new space age. Will be absorbed by the Department of Science, Innovation, and Technology. UKSA. United Kingdom Space Agency? Okay.
UKSA. Or if you move the letters around, sucka.
Sucka.
Because that's what you gotta be to believe any of that shit.
My team lead just showed up. I'm going to have to get going. We're already, we're going to get going.
All right.
All right, man. Y'all have a good day. Be careful. Be safe.
I love y'all.
Love you too.
Love you, brother.
Talk at you.
Play in traffic, wear a vest. Just saying.
And a helmet.
Yep. All right, guys. Talk to you later.
Toodles. Yeah, I guess we is rolling in. Creeping up on it. We're just creeping in.
Yep. Thank you guys for hanging out. Appreciate it.
Absolutely. I saw Nick Phuket Word was streaming earlier. Popped in, said hello over there.
Nice. I missed it, damn it. I saw them talking about him in chat and never did go click on it. On my, the little three buttons over there to see who was live. Or four, or whatever the hell it is. 4 lines. Is that Captain? Oh, no, that was something else. Never mind. Now, what have I done? Okay, there we go. We will see you back here Friday morning.
Ideally. See what I do. Yep, that's it.
All right, guys. Love y'all. Thank y'all so much.
Let's see. How long we got there? 40 seconds?
Yeah, something like that.
Sorry, I'm looking at this. Little outro music. I doubt it'll get hit. But shout out to those that recognize this musician and this artist. But we do love you guys. We will see you back here on Friday morning for more of the Ironworks. Every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday morning, kicking off at 4 a.m. to 6 a.m. Central Time. Until then, be good, be well, do good, do it well. My God, that was a cold out. We love you. Bye-bye.